Namaste to you all. My love and blessings. स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। We will do the Sharada Kavacham once. अतः श्री शारदा कवचम् पारमार्थस्य प्राप्त्यर्थं देहमर्पितमस्तु मे ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं भिक्षायाचे च शारदे। ॐ सर्वशक्त्यात्मिकायै श्री शारदा देव्यै नमः। ॐ पुनातु नः शारदा देवी पुनातु परमेश्वरी चरणं पवित्रं विततं पुराणय्येन पूतस्तरति दुष्कृतानि तेन पवित्रेण शुद्धेन पूता अतिपाप्मानमरातिन्तरेम। शरीरं कृणुहि यज्ञशमलन्नो भयं कृणुहि विश्वतः। शारदा पुरस्तात् शारदा पश्चात्तात् शारदोत्तरात्तात् शारदा धरात्तात् शारदा नः सुवतु सर्वतातिगं शारदानो रासतां सारोग्यदीर्घमायुः। सर्वतो देवि त्वन्नः पाहि पाहि समन्तात् यतः सर्वमिदं जातं येन सर्वमिदं ततं। यदेकमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपं विश्वं पुराणं तमसः परस्तात् यज्जन्तोर्निहितं गुहायां तद्दर्शयाभयं प्रदेहि। ॐ तत्सत्स्वरूपिण्यै च विद्महे शारदा देव्यै च धीमहि तन्नश्चिन्मयी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Let Mother protect everyone from all calamities. For that, this prayer, whole world is anxious, but some kind of relief in the mind is also there, because the death rate is very low, especially in India. But we have to face all things. Other things have become freezed. So today we will have story of Madalasa. It is what we have to learn in our life. Lot of things we get from this Madalasa story. How to live, whatever our duties and responsibilities as a human, as a sadhaka, in various aspects of our life. Madalasa, we see, it's a part of Markandeya Purana. In Markandeya Purana, chapter 20 to 44, Madala's story comes. Garg Rishi is telling some prince who refuses to accept the kingship after his father departs. In that respect, Garg is telling the whole thing. Look here, to make him go to Dattatreya and get the directions of spiritual instructions. Now, this presentation is so beautiful and it's a lengthy presentation. I am trying to condense it and give you, and I am trying to write it down also so that it will remain with you people for others to go through, because the way in which they present and the way in which we have to take it and understand, slight differences will be there because we are all sadhakas. So we have the ultimate aim of life to reach God, and there also, as in the all other scriptures of Hinduism, the ultimate goal is always to realize God, and that is what has been established everywhere in all Puranas. Transcend the nature and go beyond. Transcend the nature and go beyond. So that aspect is brought here. He presents Madalasa, ideal woman. Not only every character, like Mahabharata and all, each character has its own glory and something to teach to us. Same thing happens with the Madalasa story here. An ideal woman, we see what is a woman should be. Her part in the world, her part in the family, her part to herself, how much of dedication, all this is being shown in this. Similarly, an ideal wife, total acceptance of the Grahastha life, total dedication. From birth, she has great quality. One thing what we see in Madalasa is, from birth, whatever she puts hand upon, with total dedication she will take it. Means, be it a small work or a big work or learning or work, any work, with wholeheartedly giving herself totally in that, she will. Learning also is like that. Essential things. Opening and learning. So that quality she had by birth. She is a Gandharva's daughter. Gandharva king, he is a king of Gandharva king, and her daughter is Madalasa. Similarly, you see in her an ideal mother. How mothers should bring up the children with the ultimate goal. That also is ideal woman, ideal wife, and ideal mother. Similarly, you will see each character is presenting some ideal. Not that the difficulties do not come in the life of great people whose life is absolute perfection, it is going without any error. Don't think the calamities or difficulties, problems do not come. Perhaps it may come in greater intensity and greater magnitude than in ordinary normal people. Because when the calamities come and they struggle to transcend it, how they receive that, how they transcend it, that is most important part to make that life an ideal. Otherwise, it will not remain an ideal. When it's confronted with the oppositions, when it's confronted with a lot of problems and calamities, then it will become, its glory of that life is highlighted, and then it is presented as the ideal. Follow it, follow it. So to make that, you will see so many things happening in her, the single-minded devotion to whatever she takes up. And as she grows up, she will unfold all her good and great qualities that we will see, and exceptional. She has everything with her, within her. The beauty, heavenly beauty, bodily structure, her gates, royal gates, her treasure of knowledge, unimaginable treasure of knowledge. She guides her children, 3 along the Nivritti Marga, and one last one at the request of the father along the Pravritti Marga. To give the Pravritti Marga, Nivritti Marga we see a short, this one, they are already trained from childhood for Nivritti Marga, and easily they go for Pravritti Marga. She gives elaborate description of all duties and responsibility. It runs through pages, pages, pages. Every aspect of human life has been given, including Shraddha, marriage, this, that, what are the duties, everything. How a man evolves, how does he not undergo deterioration, all this aspect, we will not discuss that. I will give in the writings, but life I will try to present here. That goodness, sweetness in speaking, kind words, love, compassion, royal gate, beauty, sacrifice, innate purity, these are the things that we have to imbibe. Wisdom in life, peaceful, calm mind at all times, in all conditions. This is an ideal woman that we have to develop in ourselves. So this we see, and unfaltering virtue. Virtue. It's great thing, you see. Life, a character is most important thing in life. So that you will see in her, that virtues, unfaltering virtues, and firmly stable at all times. Moving at stability. We are shaken every moment in our life. Small thing happening shakes us. No stability. Because we are not rooted in somewhere. Somewhere we have to get rooted. Either in faith in God, love of God, or in knowledge. These are absent. So we see in her all these qualities. Now, this is part of Markandeya Purana, I have told you, and the story begins in a different style. The one king will be there, and we see he is honored by all people. He is bent on protecting the dharma. Wherever there is dharmic, following up, or spiritual practices, one rishi sages, rishis immersed in their dhyana and all, to give all type of protection, because if they are protected, dharma is protected. If they are protected, the evolution of the society is possible only through the tyagis and sadhakas, and who have completely renounced all the enjoyments of the world and following the. So his name is Shatrujit, the king Shatrujit, and his kingdom was a small kingdom on the bank of Gomati river. He had a son who is excellent in nature. Just like I described the Madalasa, his son, Ritadhvaja, his name is Ritadhvaja. Ritu we say, no? Climatic and Ritu, like that. Ritadhvaja is his name. You see in him same type of qualities as I told in her. All great and good qualities you will see in him also. he is going to be the husband of Madalasa later on. But now he is the son. Now the story begins that he is a advanced youth, not middle-aged, but about 25-30 years of age. And he is mixing with so many friends, the different princes and all used to come, and he is sporting with them in a joyful way. And his nature used to attract all people. He is a beautiful conversationalist and varieties of things, vast knowledge, prowess, Veeratva of that kingly family, you say, is a prince. And his character was extremely good. With friends, how he used to always in spiritual discussions, commenting on music, literature, scriptural studies, arms, how to use, practice of arms, all these things with other princes and all. Sometimes he used to sport with, together they will have bath, food and all that. Many Brahmins boys, Kshatriya boys and other of the same age group, 25-30 age group, they all used to join. Some Vaishya group, people, some boys also join. They used to enjoy their life. His nature is to mix and keep everyone, show concern, love for them, real love. Means for everything, everybody. How are you? What are you? What is your need? This, that intimacy and motherly concern. That used to attract everyone. And at the same time, all powerful. See the two qualities of power, knowledge, status, with humility, concern, love, rare qualities in him. So two boys from Netherlands, means other lower lokas, actually Nagaloka, from there two boys used to come. See, when we read the story of anything in the Purana, don't doubt anything. Is it possible? Because we are modern minds, we all get the doubts. Is it true? Is it true? We need not go to the root of the truth or not. It has great lesson to teach us. It happens. It happens. We are blind to many things because of the scientific knowledge. We are not able to enter into the nature. What five senses predict alone, we limit ourselves. But there is a world beyond, which is inaccessible to us. Suppose a boy is moving about in the street, you cannot know who is it, from where he has come, what is he. We cannot think some devata is moving about in the form, in the guise of human. We can't think. And it is possible. Invisible world is there as much as the visible world is there for us. Anyway, those two boys used to come and join. They used to enjoy. They were moving about on this world of mortals. They come across him. Once they come across him, like the Krishna's sight. Once somebody looks at Krishna, it is over. He is caught. His heart is stolen. Like this, these two boys got intimately related, as if they become intimate friends that they cannot separate anymore. And then they used to eat, drink, sleep, everything. They take rest, go for swimming, all these things together. So it came to that state that these two boys are not able to be without him, and the prince also. Ritadvaja is also not able to live without those boys. He used to feel as if he is left out. With all his learning, great things. See how the divine manages the things. He has got something to achieve. He has got something to do. God's work he has got to do. God has to return for having done his work, God's work. He has to give him the support and whatever he needs in his life. So these two are matched now. So these two boys used to, now these two boys were from Nagaloka. Nagaloka's king Ashvatara was their father. They belonged to the royal family. Ashvatara's sons, these two, the king of Nagas. So they used to get up in the morning, early morning, disappear. The two boys, both the sons used to disappear. Again after the sunset, they will come back and sleep. Again get up in the morning and go away. Months pass. Father will be observing where these boys are going early in the morning. What have they got? In the kingdom, there is nothing lacking for them. One day he will call the two boys. Only nights I am seeing you. Where are you people going every day? Whom to are you attached in the world of mortals? What is this? Then they tell the whole story. They tell about his greatness, his love, his concern, his sacrifice, all the good and great qualities, his knowledge, his wisdom, his vast understanding of things, and his capability, prowess. He can conquer any people, even gods and goddesses he can fight with. Such capacities he has got. All these qualities Father hears one by one what they explain. Then the Father says, oh, you are worthy of being their friend. And he is, you see, Father enjoys that way in which the two children describe the prince as unique personality which we have never seen in our life. And to that we are attached. We cannot live. All the enjoyments of the kingly family here, we are detached from all that. We don't want anything in our life except his friendship. To that extent they go. He says, my children, you are accomplished. His accomplishments, you are praising in his absence. You are learned. You are praising his learning. You are good-natured. You are highly honored. And you are a person when he is praised in his absence by an authority, it is to be honored. Father enjoys it and says, if it is so, I am extremely grateful to, and to such people, you can give anything, any help at any time. And one thing I will tell you, Father says to the children, all that I have in my kingdom, including me, you can give to him. I am at his services, anything, he hears the sacrificing nature of the prince, ready to sacrifice his life for protecting the righteous. And you see, where we have to put our mind and enjoy, where there is divinity, where there is purity, where there is sacrifice, where there is unconditional love. It is there we have to. This Father understands. Means how evolved and elevated that Father might be as a king to give away everything to a person who is ready to sacrifice himself for the welfare of the society. And this is what then Father says, see, you are friends. You are getting great benefit. You are on the divine plane of awareness now. Constantly thinking of sacrifice, this, that and all, spiritual discussions. All this is happening, and did you return anything in return? You have been blessed to have all that. He is giving you so much, such a company. And what have you given back return? Can you repay the debt that you have taken? In what way can you give? Think over. You have everything at your disposal. Money, wealth, whatever he wants, you can give. Then children say, what does he want? He is a prince himself. A whole kingdom is at his disposal. His father is the king. What does he lack? Gold, wealth, money, name, fame, everything he has got. At the same time, he has the power of a Kshatriya, that he can conquer anybody. He doesn't need any kind of help also. He is learned in scriptures, in military art, everything he knows. Then the duties and responsibilities of every person in the world. A Kshatriya, how it should be, a Brahmana, how it should be, what is the qualities, what are the things. Whole thing he knows. What can we give to him? Then father says, see, a person who praises the friend who has helped in every way and without returning anything for him, lives, his living itself becomes a burden for him. Something you have to give, something you have to do. Find out what he needs. Then the children, the boys will think for some time and tell him, the father, see, one thing I will tell you, we can do, but it can be done only by Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Nobody else can do. We cannot accomplish what he wants. Then father asks, tell me, there is nothing in this world that is unattainable. If there is a sacrifice, if there is a dedication, if there is a true determination and faith in God, everything is possible, my child. Anything can be achieved. Never think that we cannot achieve. Only Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara can do it. We are there. With all our strength, God has kept everything in us to attain anything in these three worlds. So tell me, what can I do for him? Then children say, see, he told once his early lifetime what happened. That I am going to tell you. Then he tells the story. As a boy, he used to nicely move about, learning, acquiring knowledge, acquiring all this. And as he grew up, he became totally accomplished in all aspects of the kingship. What king should know? Because he has to take decisions. He has to giving punishment, this, that, judgment he has to give, sitting on the throne. So how much of knowledge and understanding he must have. So all that he acquired. By that time, there was one rishi, Galava by name. So that rishi is to remain immersed in sadhana, immersed in contemplation, meditation. Truly he used to love God and seek the divine. And in that he had a small ashrama on the bank of Yamuna. Same, this one I think, Gomati. On the bank of Gomati, in the same kingdom. And he used to, one Patal Ketu, one demon used to torture him. He will take various forms. Sometimes he will come as a tiger, as a lion, as an elephant, and devastate his ashrama. So he has all the powers. He says, I have all the powers to destroy him. I have earned such, as Rishi you see, such powers I have, but I don't want to waste in killing a demon. Danava. To kill a Danava, how can I spend this, which is worth years of sadhana? In a moment I can destroy him, but I don't want to do it. Then he used to pray, pray, pray. See, when things go beyond our control, there is divine backing us. If you are going in the right path, God always is there with you. He is waiting. And then his prayer, one day, when he is approaching him in various ways, a horse descends in his land, in his ashrama, and a voice comes, see, this horse I have given to you, to Galavarshi, the voice addresses and tells, this horse can go mind speed anywhere. In the three worlds it can move about anywhere. And in whole earth, along with the sun, solar system, it takes round also, it will not get tired. So, with this horse, there is the king, Shatrujit, his son, Ritadhwaja, will be able to destroy that king, that demon, Danava. You go and request him. With that, he takes that horse and comes to the king and requests him, tells the whole thing. This horse I have brought, it's for your son to help me in my sadhana. Then the son takes the horse. Father immediately, with benedictions and all that, ceremoniously makes him mount on that horse, and along with the Galava, he dispatches him to his ashrama. He'll be in the ashrama. Within a few days, he will remove all the impediments in his life, sadhaka life, and everything will be peaceful. All things he rearranges. Everything again, what is devastated, he again makes it up. And without knowing Ritadhwaja is there, that Danava comes again in the form of a boar, wild boar. At that time, he will be there. And Rishi will be immersed in dhyana. And the ashramites will start shouting, oh, he has come in the form of boar, boar. Then the prince will be there. Immediately climbs the horse and chases. And first he leaves an arrow. The arrow goes and hits in the chest of that Danava, that boar. That boar too, for life, it runs away into the vast hills filled with forest. He chases it. Miles after miles, that boar will run. Finally, it will fall into a dark pit. These also, horse with the prince also, will fall into it. He cannot find him. He had that one power to create darkness in which nobody can find him. So he was not able to found. He was not found. But horse, and he was there. He moves about with the horse. Nothing is seen. One place he sees light. He enters that light and sees there is golden palaces. No human or any type of being is there. Then he'll wonder, what is this? Here, there he wanders, then he wants to come back. Sees everything, vast city-like area, golden houses and golden buildings and this one. Nobody is there. While coming back, he sees a woman going. Then suddenly he asks, who are you? Why are you here? What is this? She doesn't answer. She simply walks off. He will follow her. He ties the horse somewhere and follows her. She enters a palace. He enters the palace. He doesn't see the woman, but he sees a beautiful young lady on a cot. She is Madalasa, whom I am speaking about now. She was abducted. She was Gandharva daughter, abducted by Patal Ketu, who has come in the form of boar to the Galava's ashrama, hermitage, and she has been kept here. Madalasa was kept here in this palace. He sees and she sits looking at him and faints. She enters into a trance. And then the woman comes, whom he had seen first, to fanning her and making her wake up. Then she tells the whole story. She was the appointed companion of the Madhalasa. See how much responsibility a companion bears, you see. Her husband, the companion's husband, was slain. After his demise, she takes to a life of ascetic, doing severe hard austerities. And hearing, she knows where is the, nobody can enter into that place, nobody understands. But she, no companion knows, because they are not two bodies. Once you become a companion, she is a princess, daughter of Gandharva king. And this is the appointed companion. Companion means, companion says, my body is her body is my body, her soul is my soul. Once I become a companion, I bear all the responsibility to protect her as I protect myself. If her body gets hurt, I am hurt. That much oneness makes her to come. If she hears that the Patalaketu has been, he went in a form of boar and he was hit by an arrow. And she had come there to see, protect her. She'll be watching. She'll be doing hard austerities. At the same time, she is aware. Just like Thakur says that tortoise keeps the eggs on the bank and it will enter the water, but its whole mind will be there on the egg. Anybody coming near the egg, it will immediately rush back. Like that, she was protecting her in that state, being abducted and kept in prison. Now, he had decided to marry her after a few days, Patalaketu. He was arranging for a marriage with her. And knowing that she is going to be married, she wanted to put an end to her life. They have the powers to leave the body at will. So, she wanted to leave the body, and then Surabhi, the cow goddess, she appears and tells, no, you need not die. You have a purpose to fulfill in this life. He will not be able to have you. A person will hit with an arrow, and he will become your husband. Don't worry. The previous night this had happened, and that is why she becomes, the moment she sees him, then she becomes fainted. She enters actually into a trance. So this happens. Then the whole story, the woman's name is Kundala, one who is a companion. That Kundala will explain to him whole thing and requests him to marry her before he can protect her. He says, I can't marry. I am not my master. My parents are there, elders are there. They have to take a decision on me. I cannot, I have no freedom. Then she convinces her, Surabhi's words, it cannot become false. And if you leave her and go, her misery will have no ends. As a prince, your duty is to protect these inhuman from the inhuman. At the same time, you cannot take somebody's daughter without marrying her. Because this prayer has not come from the parents' side or anybody to protect her. I as a companion requesting you. Then convincing in every way. Then he contemplates, gets the divine command that he can get married. And then the Kundala, that companion brings the priest, our family priests, from there and gets her married and sends them. She disappears. She goes off to her austerities. I am free now today after the marriage. My responsibility as a companion is over. Now you take her and go. I freely, with free mind, I will do my tapasya now. I will go for. So she goes off, and while coming out, the Ketu, Patal Ketu, with his army attacks him while coming out. So he has a war now. He has come with a bow. He wins over. He kills Patal Ketu, comes back. See, for the sake of that Rishi, Gavala, for killing Patal Ketu, nobody else can kill. Such a powerful man with a perfect character, with the divine order must be there, you see. He is made for that. God has to protect him, and he has been selected. And in return for his services, God is making his family arrangements so that he who has been appointed by God to protect them is getting an equally competent wife to continue the protection of dharma. So, you see, God's arrangements, anything you do of service will not go in vain. Ultimately, it will take you to God. So, this one you see, he gets his wife, goes and reports to his father, everything happens. And now, after this, for some time they will be happily moving about, living with the father and all are happy. She has got unique characteristic to mix with all people, honor the elders, getting up early morning, father-in-law, mother-in-law, she is to bow down and do all the duties of this one, keep all people in their places. Oh, what a woman, a household wife should do. All that she used to do with love and care. So everybody was happy. Then father, many long time passes. Father says, here, now again here and there I am hearing some problems are coming up in the life of the saints and spiritual sadhakas. Please go and take care. Morning you get up and go and see every hermitage, every ashrama, every places of worship, that things are going on well, nobody is in trouble. So morning he used to go in a horse and see everything is anywhere, any problem, any Danamas giving problem or any other problems, he used to solve, give them peace and come back by evening, then spend the night in his palace, again go morning. Once on the bank of Yamuna, one hermitage will be there. He goes by accident to there. One Talaketu will be there, his brother, Patalketu's brother, another demon. He wanted to take revenge on him. He has a kutia there. He is in the guise of Brahmin, he is there. He, as soon as he comes, he says, any problem for you? Yes, he says, I wanted to do one penance, one observation to please Varuna Devata, who is taking care of all the sadhakas. So, but I don't have money or wealth to give to anybody. I am a Brahmin, I don't possess anything. If you can give your necklace, I will offer it, and then I will see that my things are in proper condition and I can get the benefit of that. He says, why not? What I have to do with this? Then he says, he takes that and says, till I come back, please watch my hermitage. I will come back as soon as possible. He goes, and straight away he goes to Madalasa and gives this, throws it on the sea. your husband wanted to protect the Brahmins and all that. There was a war with the Danavas and he was killed in the battle. Some Shudra people has cremated him. He is no more. This is while dying, he gave this to you, to be given. All others will be there. In the presence of all, he tells this to the Madalasa and goes off. She, in a moment, she says, if my husband is not there, I have no right to live in this world. Immediately she sits and gives her life. And she dies. Then father, already they are in grief that son has gone. Daughter-in-law also goes off. Then, but the great king he consoles everyone, telling, see, they have died for the sake of dharma, to protect people. It doesn't matter. He lives forever in the hearts of people as an ideal. Let him. And she also, an ideal wife, how they will be intimately related and dependent, and they cannot exist like two waves coming together, can never again part from each other. How they live. She is also an ideal. We will. Then they cremate her, fire ritual, and then son also, he gives the water, Tilodaka, and they will be in great grief. And there he goes back, Talaketu goes back and tells the prince that my purpose is finished, now you can go. I have come back. He comes back to the city and sees all are in grief, all are something has happened. Then he goes, his father tells him the whole episode, what had happened. Then he understands. But then, before he gives water to his wife, Tilodaka, he takes a vow. See, she has sacrificed her life because she cannot live without me. But I cannot do the same thing now because it will be an error. My father's orders, the need of mine here to protect dharma is equally important, being the dharma of the husband. This supersedes my dharma. But I will take a vow that I will not marry any woman. And till today, from my childhood, what mother has taught, to look upon all women as mothers, I will follow that. This story the two sons tell to the father. Now after that, he is inside. The Madalasa is there in deep within him. And he has totally, from that day, he has dedicated himself to be with the friends of his own age, make them all happy, keep them all happy, do all the duties of life and live. So, the only thing he lacks is Madalasa, which we cannot give him back. And he cannot take anybody as his wife anymore. Then father says, well, what is within my powers, within my capabilities, I will try to do. He tells the sons, as usual, morning, get up and go away. This father goes to one Plakshavatarana, one holy place. This is the Udgama of Saraswati river. There he goes, the father, that is the Naga king, he goes there, and one Himavan Parvata will be there. On that he climbs, sits there for tapasya, controls his food, water, no sleep, goes on praying to Saraswati to bless him. Days pass, weeks pass, long time passes. Saraswati, pleased with his penance, with his tapasya, appears before him and says, my child, ask for a boon. I am pleased with you. He says, Mother, give me all that knowledge of music. What all I have to know regarding music, you give me. And his brother will be there. He too will sit for tapasya with him. For him also, you give him as my assistant in my work, in my venture which I am going to do. Give him as my assistant and give that knowledge of music to us. She says yes. She elaborately describes the various 6 ragas, 7 shrutis, this, that, all things, talas, everything, what knowledge of music and the beautiful voice to please anyone who hears it, she bestows. Then she disappears. After that they continue the penance, tapas, sitting there calling on Shiva. Again, long time passes. Morning, getting up and starting singing. It will continue, various ragas to please Shiva. He goes on singing, both are goes on singing. And then evening comes, the ragas change, night ragas change. Whole day and night, the ragas which are sung at those hours, they go on singing. No sleep, no food, calling on God, just to please. He says to their sons before they come, nothing is impossible, if you have determination, faith in yourself and for faith in God. Everything is possible. So finally Shiva appears and asks, what do you want? He says, if you bless me, I want to have Madalasa as my daughter. Give us Madalasa again back. When she died, what she was, how she looked, what was her knowledge, behavior, rupa, form, everything as it is, you give me as my daughter. Then Shiva says, all right, I am pleased with you. Nothing is impossible. Body is after all collection of few atoms. What else is there? Nature is nature. When such a body comes, such a prana also comes, such nature comes, all things come together. I will bless you with that. You go and do the shraddha of Madalasa, and the middle pinda you eat. And then from your middle hood, she will emerge out. He goes and his brother does the shraddha and eats, and they get back the Madalasa as she was at the time of death. They keep her. Secretly they will keep. The king is so happy, Naga king, that I have been able to do something for that boy who has blessed my sons with pure divinity. See, my children whom I have given birth have become divine in his company. To him, what else can I give? What he needs. And he feels blessed to give. Then he invites, he tells the children to, children also do not know. Father has brought back the Madalasa. They go, he asks them to invite, and then they go and invite, you come to our house one day. He says, I don't go anywhere, I don't need anything. Then they say, my father wants to see you. Oh, I will come. Your father, I have heard, a great person, matchless magnanimity, spiritual wealth, very close to God. I have to see him. I will come. with all humility, he says, yes, I will come. Then they go. Father is very happy to see, embraces him. He says, all your great and good qualities I have heard. And you are a parents who get a son like this, he is worth being called a son. So you be with us today for our dining and all. They take bath, dine, everything. All day they will enjoy. And then parting time comes, he asks, what do you want? You want anything you ask, I will give you. He says, what will I do with anything? I don't want anything. I am finding fulfillment within myself. And whatever I need is already with me. I have nothing more to achieve anything in this world. Then he says, no, I am such a person that who comes to my house, I cannot send him empty-handed. I have to give something. Select anything you want. He is in a, what can I take from here? Then can you ask for tamaku like Thakur's mother? So he asks, he looks at the friends, what do I need? The two boys, his sons, are sitting there. Then they say, see, if you can give him Madhalasa, it is all right. Then he says, Madhalasa, how to bring back a person who is dead? Have you seen anybody coming back who has gone forever? But I can do one thing. I can make him see a illusionary form of hers by my mantra shakti. Then he gives a sign to his brother to bring that Madhalasa. To make fun with him, then he utters some mantras and then they bring the Madhalasa. Then seeing Madhalasa, oh, my beloved, you are here. He starts rushing towards. The king says, no, you cannot touch her. She is illusion. You can see, if you touch, she will disappear. Then he faints. Then see the intimate love that she could not live without you, and you are not able to live without her, is what this fainting shows. Then they wake him, bring him back to consciousness and say, she is real, not artificial or illusory. You can take her and go. Then she comes. After coming, they will live together for some time nicely. The father becomes old. He wants to go away for his tapasya. Last days, as almost all the kings and Brahmins, Vaishyas, they used to go Vanaprastha period after the 60s, leaving everything to children. They alone will go for tapasya. He wanted to go. So he makes the son the king and goes away. After becoming son, after becoming the king, he will be living with the queen and the whole kingdom, looking after every individual personally as his own child. They will be. And after a year, they will have a child, the first child, and father names him Vikrama. Then Madhalasa laughs at it. She says, what is this? Then he asks, what is wrong? I have given the best possible name for the child. She laughs and keeps quiet. He wonders. Then the child grows. As the child is growing, she will bring the child up with giving him the knowledge. you see, when the child weeps, what we do is we will show him, the child, something that attracts its senses, ears, chiki 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 sound, and then vision and all that. That makes the child outward. The senses are activated and turn outward. But this mother makes that child inward. Why are you weeping, my child? From the beginning, first day onwards, she goes on insisting, you are not this body, you are Atman. You are not this body, you are Atman. Now, should I continue? Then, you see, I have here the song which she used to sing. Beautiful understanding of Advaita. Look at the mother's capability. When he asked Shiva, he says the same knowledge which she had, she must be coming again as Yogini and Yoga Mata. The two words he uses. Yogini is one who is constantly in union with God. Yoga Mata is one who is able to give that yoga to others. There the Ashvatara, king of the Nagas, when he propitiates Shiva and asks for the Madalasa, he tells it, I want her to be again Yogini and Yoga Mata. So she is giving the yoga to her son now. Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. Samsara Maya Parivarjitosi. Samsara Swapnam Tyaja Moha Nidram. Madala Sollapam Uvacha Putram. Waking up, give up this sleep. Why are you sleeping? You are pure, you are divine, you are untouched by the world and Maya, Niranjanosi, Samsara Maya Parivarjitosi. Look at within. You are free from the Samsara Maya at all times. Before taking birth, after taking birth also. Samsara Swapnam. You have come to this world taking a body. Is this a dream world? You are in a dream world. Leave this dream. Wake up to yourself now first. Moha Nidram. Tyaja Moha Nidram. Mine and I is Moha. In this thing, nothing belongs to me. I am not this body. But telling myself as body and these things are mine is Moha. Come out of this Moha Nidra. Madalasa Ullapam Uvacha Putram. She tells the sweet words of this to her. This is the first child and all children, 3 children. She goes on singing these things and continues the knowledge as that child grows. Shuddho sireta tanatesti nama kritim hite kalpanaya dhunaiva panchatmakam dehamidam natesti naivasya tvam rodishikasya heto. Shuddho sireta, you are eternally pure. You don't have a name. Natesti nama kritim hite kalpanaya adhunaiva. You are born today. And today they kept the name. It was Kalpana. By Kalpana they made a name for you to call you. It is Panchatmakam Dehamidam. With the 5 elements the body has formed, you are not this body. Neither you belong to the body nor body belongs to you. Why are you weeping? What for are you weeping? When child weeps, she tells this. Nava bhavan rodisi vaiswajanma shabdoyam asadya mahisha sunam. विकल्प्यमाना विविधा गुणास्ते गुणाश्च भौताः सकलेन्द्रियेषु. नमः भवान् रोदिसी वै स्वजन्मा. You have taken a birth and you are actually a part and parcel of the universal consciousness, the Ishvara. And you are thinking that you are taken a birth. You are eternally a part of the God. And you are in body also. And vikalpaya, whatever gunas you say, I am good, I am bad, I am right, I am wrong, everything is prakriti gunas. Sattva Rajatama, what we saw. It is changing gunas. Gunas are changing. That is not yours, gunas. Gunascha bhautaha. All these are bhauta. All elements and particles together. Even mind is matter. Thinking is matter. Everything is matter. Why are you identifying with this? Indriyas, whatever sees, perceives, all this is material. You are not that. You are not the body, you are not the indriyas. Bhutani bhutaihi paridurbalani vriddhim samayanti yadeha pumsaha. Annabudana dibireva kasya na testi vardhir na cha testi hani. The elements coming together more and more, the body becomes fat. When it loses the elements, it becomes thin. Body is growing thin and thick. You don't have the growing or hani or vriddhi is not there in you. You are Atman. Where is the growth and where is the fall? Your body. Tvam kanchuke shiryamane nijesmin tasminscha dehe mudhatam ma vrajetah shubha shubhai karma bhirdeha metat madadi mudaihi kanchukaste pinadha. Kanchuka means jacket which I am wearing. Tvam kanchuke shiryamane nijesmin. You are Atman. You are just a cover has been put. And within that cover, why are you identifying with the cover? The shiryamana, it is going to be destroyed. The cover which is put upon you, you are indestructible. But the cover which is body is destructible. Why are you saying this body as yourself? Mudatham. Don't enter into the mudatha that I am this body. By chance, you are growing now, my child. Never identify with this body, which is just a jacket. Shubha Shubha karma reta deha. According to Shubha Shubha karma, it goes on changing its form and contents. Dukkhani dukkhapagamaya bhogan sukhaya janati vimudha chetaha tanyeva dukkhani punas sukhani janati vidvana vimudha chetaha. Dukkhani, sukha dukkha, he is trying to experience dukkha, to remove the dukkha. Sukhas will remove the dukkha. Happiness will remove the misery. I want to be happy. They are thinking. Mudha chetaha. And tanyeva dukkhani punas sukhani. They wade away. Now there is dukkha, then they are interchanging. You cannot destroy anything by anything. And janati. And dukkha, sukha dukkha is for the body and mind. You are beyond the body and mind. Ever blissful. You are Ananda Swarupa. Why are you identifying with this bodily? Imagine, means Sukha Dukkha also doesn't pertain to you. Just like body mind doesn't pertain to you, Sukha Dukkha also doesn't pertain to you. Yanam kshitau yana gatascha deho dehe pichanya purusho nivishta mamatva mudva murvyam cha तथा यथा ते देहे त्रिमात्रम च vimudhatesha. Just like yana, vehicle. In vehicle, we don't identify the vehicle with the one who is driving the vehicle or inside the vehicle. Do you ever think that vehicle and vehicle rider are one and the same? No. Like that, this body is a vehicle only. You are the inside indweller. Why are you identifying with it? Like that, mamatva, they don't fall into that vimudhata of identifying with the vehicle. One shloka before is also this. Hasosti sandarshana हासोस्ति संदर्शन अक्षियुग्मा अत्युज्ज्वलं यत् कलुषं वसायाः कुचादिपीनं पिशितं धनं तत् स्थानं रते किं नरकन्न योषित. My child, you are taken a male body. Male body may sometime feel attracted towards a female body. Female body may feel attracted sometime a male body. But analyze and see what is there in that. It is mamsa rakta. It is only the mamsa pinda, pishitam dhana. Whatever you see in a human, when you see the eyes, smile in the face of a woman or in a man, you see the smile, but you don't look at the skull. If you take an X-ray photo and see with the smiling man, you see a skull there. Danger. Skull is a danger mark. Bones alone is there inside. That we don't see. The outer glory should not take you away any time. Similarly, Akshmi Yugma, the beautiful eyes. When you see the beautiful eyes of somebody, know it to be just Mamsa Vikara. So is the whole part of all parts of the body. Don't be any time in your life, because he is this one last son, this father requests not to. So if you read that sometime, I will try to write and send all the instructions he gives the three children. They are one side, the king is training them to be the virtuous king. In all respects to be a fine king. In strength, wisdom, that side. Horse riding, fighting, wars, this, that, politics, everything father is training. Mother is training, giving him the spiritual wisdom. Now, as they come to the youth, they will understand, oh, this is Maya world. I have my goal to achieve. They renounce and go away to the forest. The second son is born. Mother does the same thing. He also goes away. The third son is born. All the three sons, she nurses, she takes, she does everything that she has to do for this child. But instead of turning him outward towards the world, turns him to the reality. And then third son also renounces and goes to the forest. Then the fourth son is born. The second son he names Subhahu. The third son he names Shatrumardana. So the three sons are named by the father. Each time the father names the children, she will smile. Then the first son is born. He wanted to name, before itself she starts laughing. Then he says, each time I name, such a beautiful name I am giving, worth it of a king, and you are laughing at it. Now you name this fourth child. She says, I laughed because that child I am seeing, the Atman in it, covered with a body. The Atman, Vikranta you gave, Krantam is going. Vikranta means victoriously going. But where will it go? He is all pervading. Going and coming is not there. Another you gave Subhavu. He is as much there in everyone, everywhere, which has no limbs, which has no head and tail. He is Atman. He is all-pervading reality, ever existing. You are given him Bhavu, Subhavu. And another one you are given Shatru-mardana. When the same Atman exists in everyone, who is Shatru, who is Mitra? I laugh because I see the reality. You see only Moha. I see both. But I don't object. Then he says, you name this time. She gives the name Alarka. Alarka means mad dog. He laughs. Oh, you. A prince who is going to be. What name you have given him? Alarka is this name suits a prince. She says, what name has to do with the person? Name is just a sangya to identify a person and call a person. If I call by any name, he will come. Suppose you give Krishna name, if you say Krishna, he will come. If you keep a name Badnekai, he will, if you call Badnekai, he will come. What is there in name, she says. But she keeps, and then she will be singing the same song, Shuddhosi, Buddhosi. Then he gets angry. He comes to, what are you doing? 3 princes already have gone away. I am becoming old. Who will take the responsibility of the next generation? Who is going to take up the kingship? Who is capable of protecting as I protected this? How much the citizens are longing for a nice, good king. Will you not bring up this child in a good way? That a prince should be brought out to take up the kingship? She says, all right. Nothing is lost, nothing is gained. After all, he is Atman, body is body. I will, according to your wish, I will bring him up. So she brings him in a different way. Goes on telling her, the child, dharma. How to follow dharma in life. Every step of dharma. I have no time, but every step of dharma, righteousness, character, purity, to see world with what eyes you have to see this world, what eyes you have to see with parents, elders, children, citizens, everything, background, everywhere. Bring God, bring Atman everywhere, but do your duties. How to do the duties? Everything she teaches. And then he too will be nicely growing, is capable, becomes a fine king with the help of the king and others. And then the king become old. Then he hands over to this Alarka, the kingship, and they go for Vanaprastha to the forest. Here the king, as he is nicely doing all his duties, he too begets children and he's enjoying life at the same time as an able king he is doing. As the time passes, children grow up, his age is advancing, and the sons who have renounced, especially the Subhavu, he is interested in the younger brother to see that he reaches the same state of Ananda Sagara, which all people are deprived of. My mother gave birth to all the 4 equally, but he is deprived of that Ananda Sagara. For a drop of Ananda is running about, even now at this age, behind the enjoyments. What is to be done? His that joy is never quenching. His desire for enjoyment is not quenching. Seeing that, he fits for a plan. Now he cannot be changed unless a calamity befalls him. Before mother leaves for forest, she knows one day he is going to be in trouble. She gives a ring to him. In that ring, there will be a locket like we can open, and a thing will be written in small letters, and a message will be kept. That message she says, one day, any day when you cannot do anything, you are completely caught, you are lost, then you open this and read. There he will be. This now for brother Subhahu wants him to come back to the senses now and go towards the divine. Time is passing. Age is advancing. He is nearing the Vanaprastha time. He is not yet finished his enjoyments, desire for enjoyment. So he requests Kashi, king of Kashi, to attack him and get the kingdom for him. Subhahu says, I want that kingdom, please attack and give. He says, no, I cannot do injustice. No, you have to do again, repeated requests. Finally he accepts. He is a master king with various forces in him. He attacks. He will be in enjoyment. Then conquering everything means he doesn't harm anybody. Gives them the right knowledge, understanding, and finally fourth he attacks. And he is in a trouble. He wants to run away or die, do something. Then suddenly he remembers the ring, opens and reads. In that the message will be there. My child, renounce everything immediately. If you cannot renounce, then desire for liberation. That under here, only that thing can save me. That, now that is the only way. But how to go? Where to go? Then he writes, give up all companies. If you cannot give up all companies, seek the company of holy. These two messages will be there. Give up all companies. If you cannot give up, seek holy company. Renounce all desires. If you cannot renounce, desire for liberation. Two messages will be there. See the beautiful messages, because two are equally powerful. So he seeks, now I have to go seek only holy company and long for liberation. Then he escapes and runs away, thinks of Dattatreya. He goes to Dattatreya and surrenders there. Dattatreya gives him the whole knowledge what mother has given to the sons. There's an elaborate description of Dattatreya's advice to the child. And then he is fully clear about the path, goal, responsibility of you born as human being, what he has to do, where he was, how he was slipping down into the world. Everything he understands. He comes running from there, taking leave of Dattatreya, thanking him. He boldly goes in front of Kashi Raja. Kashi Raja and his Subhahu brother will be there with a huge army waiting for him, searching for him. He says, I hand over this kingdom to you. You have come to... He says, this is not the Kshatriya's niyama. You have to fight with me. And either take the back or give it. I have to defeat and take you. I cannot take the dana from you. He says, no. Then he explains, what is the reason for which I am telling? Then he tells the whole knowledge. Then he says, I am going to leave this. I am going away now. He goes away. Then the Kashi king says to Subhahu, you made me to fight, you take the kingdom now. He says, my purpose is done. My purpose was not to own the kingdom, but to transform him to a realized soul. Because we grew up from the same mother. Same mother gave us the milk. We all realized he's dropped off. And it is my duty to see that he also, being same mother's children, he too must realize. And this will be the example for the world. How the Pravritti Marga, through how Pravritti Marga one has to attain God ultimately. Saying that then king bows down to the Alarka and tells, now it is time for the next generation to take over. He hands over, and Alarka also goes for Vanaprastha along with his brothers. This is the Madalasa story. I've taken a long time. Thank you all. I will write and send you. I don't know whether the last story has reached or not. No. Oh. Last, that what story? Vachaspati Mishra. I have written and given it. Balchandra Maharaj has to release it. This also will complete. All right, we will meet again. Thank you. Delay, you have to pardon. हे प्रार्थना जगदीश से यह स्वर्ग सम संसार हो, अति उच्चतम जीवन परमार्थमय व्यवहार हो, ना हम नहीं अपने लिए, हमको सभी से ग्रज है। गुरुदेव ये आशीष दो, जो सोचने का फर्ज है। हम हो पुजारी तत्व के, गुरुदेव के आदेश के, सच प्रेम के, नित नेम के, सद्धर्म के, सत्कर्म के। हो चीड़ झूठी राह की, अन्याय की, अभिमान की, सेवा करन में दास की, परवाह नहीं हो जान की। छोटे न हो हम बुद्धि से, हो विश्वमय से ईशमय, हो राममय और कृष्णमय, जगदेवमय जगदीशमय। हर इंद्रियों पर ताव कर, हम वीर हो अति वीर हो, उज्ज्वल रहे सर से सदा, निज धर्म रथ खंबीर हो, अति शुद्ध हो आचार से, तन मन हमारा सर्वदा। अध्यात्म की शक्ति हमें पल भी नहीं कर दे जुदा, इस अमर आत्मा का हमें हर श्वास भर में गत रहे। गर मौत भी तो आ गई, सुख
भी तो आ गई, सुख दुख हमसे सम रहे, सुख दुख हमसे सम रहे।